ChatGPT and AI tools can be great ways to come up with lesson plans and are great tools for the classroom. So let me show you a few ways. One way that I have been using them is to get ideas for projects or lesson plans. So for instance, if I'm teaching something like Irish foods to my high school students, I can type in lesson plan ideas for teaching about Irish foods to high school students. Obviously, this could be anything you can talk about. You can ask math, social studies, whatever you're teaching. So here are some lesson plan ideas. They're going to give me, I'm not sure, I didn't specify how many, but it gives me quite a few here. Introduction to Irish foods. We can do some sort of introduction, a cooking demonstration, food tasting ideas, research and presentation, Irish food blog, have them create their own Irish food blog field trip. So obviously not all of these you're going to use, but this gives you an idea. This gives you some ideas. And if you want to be more specific, say you need an actual lesson plan, you're being observed and you need an actual lesson plan or something that you need to submit. So you can actually say lesson plan, let's say formal lesson plan for teaching about China's dynasties to high school. Okay, so now let's see what it gives us. All right, so it's going to give us more of a formal lesson plan, and this can be used as a guide. You probably have your own template. Your school might be asking for a specific type of lesson plan template, but this definitely can give you some ideas and can serve as a guide for you. So it goes through the introduction, the presentation. It tells you what materials you need. And if you don't like it, put it to work and say, another formal lesson plan. And it should remember what you had asked originally. And now it's going to act funny. So that's one way that the tool can be used. Another way that it can be used is if you want students to say they're doing a research project and you want to use ChatGPT as one of their references. So you can allow them to kind of mess around with the tool and try and do some research through the program. So just say you want students, one of the students is doing a research project on the history of Irish foods, since we're talking about Irish foods. So it's going to give you a history of Irish foods that can be used as one of their references. If they were to copy and paste this, I think you'd be able to tell that they did not write it. So this is a nice way for them to kind of cross-reference with Google and other references that they might be using, and to get different information that they can add to their presentation or to their research project. Younger kids can do this too. And it could be a more simple prompt that they can ask, what does a blue whale eat? And that will generate information for them. Another way that this tool is excellent is for English language learners. So just say that you have a partner that is an English language learner, a student that needs something translated. They can copy and paste this, put it back in here and say, translate into French. And then ChatGPT will translate that entire chunk into French when it feels like it. There we go. So this is an excellent tool because you can essentially ask it for any language. It's not just limited to French and Spanish. I mean, you can ask it Russian, whatever. So it will translate for them. And lastly, I like to use it to reword sentences for me. So say I'm working on a test or a quiz or even a worksheet or presentation, and I don't love the way something's worded, but I just can't wrap my head around how to reword it in a better way. And I know as teachers, sometimes I'm sure we can hit that roadblock. So you can copy and paste your prompt. So just say, my question was, what are 3 food sources for blue whales? Okay, reword right before it, I'm going to ask it to reword that. But it's working on this French. Okay, so it reworded, what are 3 types of food that blue whales consume? So that's one example of how it could reword something. There's other, if it's a higher level question, it's much more impressive and helpful. So those are some of the ways that I used Chat GPT, and you can use other AI tools, but for now, Chat GPT is free, and it's great for teachers and students, and really, it's nothing to be afraid of.